NMD80 is a one-of-a-kind detergent designed especially for the safe and effective cleaning of new masonry surfaces. It combines powerful cleaning ability with a faster and more profitable application process to solve a host of problems on masonry surfaces, including removing construction and mineral stains, mortar smears, and efflorescence. It will leave a clean and uniform finished appearance. NMD80 is safe to use on virtually any type of masonry surface, which eliminates the need to use multiple cleaners on your new masonry job. One product cleans all of these: red brick, buff brick, precast, limestone, granite, stone, burnished block, ground face block, colored block, slurry dyed block, tile, synthetic stone, colored mortar, and related surfaces such as windows and painted surfaces when used as directed. Preparation. Surface preparation. Always test before beginning a job. Use product only as directed. Heavy mortar clumps should be removed with a scraper or stone prior to application of chemical. User preparation. Hat, rubber gloves, and goggles are recommended when using this product. All OSHA mandated procedures should be followed at all times. Adjacent area preparation. This product is very mild but can be corrosive to certain woods, metals including brass, stainless steel, or mild steel, and plants, so covering these is recommended. NMD80 is safe on glass and anodized aluminum when rinsed as directed. However, protect surfaces not intended to be cleaned from exposure to the product. Dilutions. The standard dilution rate is 4 parts water to 1 part NMD80. However, some situations may call for higher dilutions up to 10 to 1. We recommend that you always test a small area of the surface with the product to determine the dilution and dwell times. Typical dwell time is 15 to 20 minutes. Equipment. The key to using NMD80 successfully is proper use of a pressure washer and using the appropriate nozzle and PSI. NMD80 is best applied with an air-powered type sprayer similar to the one pictured here. Pressure washing provides uniform coverage and enhances the penetrating action for exceptional cleaning. Applying NMD80. Apply NMD80 to a wet or dry wall. If working at ground level, you can begin cleaning from the top or bottom of the wall. When on a ladder, scaffold, or swing stage, it is best to apply the product from the top down. Apply with a low-pressure sprayer at pressures between 40 to 100 psi using long, even passes. Work in small 5 to 6 foot sections at a time and work back and forth in both directions. Overlap the application by 1.5 blocks or bricks to ensure uniform coverage. Spray NMD80 on 3 times with a 5-minute dwell time between each application. Don't rinse in between. Total dwell time on the surface is approximately 15 to 20 minutes. When removing mortar smears, use the following dilutions. N-type mortar, dilute 4 parts water to 1 part NMD80. S-type mortar, dilute 3 parts water to 1 part NMD80. And M-type mortar, dilute 2 parts water to 1 part NMD80. Spray detergent on only as much surface area as you can rinse comfortably without the surface drying. After initial foam collapses, reapply product without rinsing until you no longer see foam. One way to determine whether or not you're ready to rinse is to do a rub test. Wear a heavy rubber glove, rub lightly on the mortar smear or blob. If it crumbles easily, you are ready to rinse. Rinsing. A thorough rinse is a very important part of the job. Rinse with a high pressure water of between 700 to 3000 psi using a wide tip nozzle no less than 25 degrees. 2000 psi is recommended pressure to use. There's less operator fatigue, making the application fast and easy. When rinsing from the ground, start at the top and work your way down to prevent surface from drying, again using the overlapping motion. When rinsing from a scaffold, swing stage, or ladder, Generally, you are working in a much larger area. Rinse from the top down. The water running down the wall will keep the wall below you wet and will rinse the detergent down and off the wall. Indoor applications. NMD80 can be used for indoor applications with a low pressure sprayer. With a low pressure, there is no odor, while high pressure will atomize the liquid. In this example, we are cleaning a combination of glazed and burnished block along a newly constructed school hallway. You will know that NMD80 is working when you see foam. NMD80 gives you an exact marker of what is done and what is not. If foaming is uneven, all you do is reapply. If it does not, foam is done and you just rinse. When rinsing 100 to 150 square feet, you'll use approximately 2.5 to 3 gallons of water. This is a very efficient system both chemically and from a water and cleanup standpoint. Special situations. Cold surfaces. Do not use NMD80 when surface and air temperatures are below 40 degrees. Allow adequate time for masonry to thaw. Hot surfaces. Do not allow NMD80 to dry on a hot surface. Flash cool surface with water before applying product when air temperatures are over 90 degrees. Slurry dyed block, synthetic stone, and other sensitive surfaces require pre-wetting, one application of NMD80, thorough scraping, and a low pressure rinse. Do not use NMD80 on lime face brick. Sand face brick. Use more applications of NMD80, scrape more, rinse carefully. Tilt-up concrete. Dilute NMD80 at 15 to 1 up to 30 to 1. The main goal is to remove surface dirt and make the face of the concrete appear uniform without causing any further surface changes. Apply a light coat of water to the surface, followed by a quick, even application of NMD80 starting from the top of the wall. A high-volume injection nozzle is the most efficient for chemical application. Rinse thoroughly. How NMD80 can benefit you. NMD80 won't cause cleanup efflorescence or white scum like other masonry detergents. NMD80 won't cause vanadium or manganese stains as a result of the cleaning process. NMD80 won't burn glass or window frames when used as directed. NMD80 is safer for both user and the environment than any other hydrochloric-based products. NMD80's spray-on, spray-off application process can create substantial increases in productivity and profitability. NMD80's effectiveness reduces the potential for back charges and liability. NMD80 leaves a great finished appearance. NMD80 eliminates the need to buy multiple cleaners for your cleaning job. The following real-time demonstration shows the procedure for using NMD80, new masonry detergent, on the exterior cleaning of a building surface of a newly constructed Walgreens pharmacy. As you can see, the contractor begins by pre-wetting the surface. As NMD80 can be applied to a dry or wet surface, but it's usually recommended that pre-wetting is best. It cools the surface in hot conditions, slows down the evaporation rate of the chemical so it can dwell on the surface. And also he's working in a manageable section. It's best to do a drop section at a time, making it more manageable. Purpose of pre-wetting is the absorption of the chemical and to slow down the evaporation of the chemical. And as you can see here, he's preparing the wall, scraping off large chunks. Makes it a little quicker and more efficient, less chemical used whenever you have to dissolve large chunks. Just knock them off with your scraper. Repeated applications of NMD80 can be used to knock off large chunks. It's just a little quicker and efficient to do it prior to applying chemical. You can have one gentleman preparing the second section while the first one is applying materials. It just adds to the speed. Preparing another section prior to the application of the sprayer. Back to the first section, pre-wetting, cooling the surface. It's the first step to applying chemicals pre-wet. We recommend it. It's not necessary, but it is best. And then he applies the NMD80 at a 4:1 dilution, working from the top down. The advantage to that is the chemical is pre-soaking the areas below using less chemical. And you can see it's working as it's foaming. It is necessary to foam. There is a fair amount of detergent in NMD80 to float materials to the surface. Okay, the contractor applied a single application of NMD80 on this one particular section, and as he was doing his rinse off, he noticed that the mortar smears on this section are coming off easily, so one application was always necessary. And as you're rinsing, make sure you're doing overlap passes so you don't miss any areas. Advantage of a lift that he's using gives you the ease and speed. May be able to see within this close shot video any mortar smears being removed. Next section that was prepared by the gentleman scraping prior to application. You can notice the severity of the mortar to be removed. And here's a first section that was cleaned down. It's rinsed, it's still wet. We'll go back to it whenever it dries to get a true appearance. You notice here's the band of split-faced block. The aggregate is better appearance than this section, which is the next section. And then the third one is more severe. You could tell, you may be able to tell by the amount of mortar smears on a section. Normal applications, we recommend NMD80 to be used twice. You can get this ease and speed out of it. Nice uniform appearance. As the second section is being prepared, scraping off the large chunks, just like on the first section. We're pre-wetting the second section. Mentioned before, it gives the slows down the dwell time on a hot surface, better penetration. If applying on a dry wall between 40 and 70 degrees, no burning will occur. Even in higher temperatures, burning will not occur, but the dwell time will be shortened, not allowing the chemical enough time to do its work. As he finishes up pre-wetting, switches to his applicator gun, working from the top down, working in a manageable section. Looks like maybe about a 20 by 25 drop. First application. Each application should have a minimum of a 5-minute dwell time. Gives the chemical enough time to do the work and not you. And it remains foam on the surface. It is not collapsing. Prior to that section, the worker probably noticed that it was a more difficult cleanup on that particular section. And while he's waiting for the second section to give it the 5-minute dwell time, he's pre-wetting the third section. It's not necessary to stop applying. You do not have to wait for dwell time. You can keep moving along. You can see him, as he's inspecting the wall after the first application, he notices a few chunks he wants to knock off. It has been softened by the chemical, making it easier. He's still allowing the chemical its 5-minute dwell time. Instead of waiting around, he's keeping busy. It's best to use something dull so you don't gouge the brick while scraping. And he's seen that it needed second application, which is the standard procedure. 2 applications, 5-minute dwell time, no rinsing in between. Give you a total of 10-minute dwell time. 10-minute dwell time is the NMD80 is at its maximum strength. Proceed with the rinsing of the material. Anywhere from 700 to 2000 psi is recommended. 2000 psi is probably the best for water abrasion to remove it quickly. You can get the ease and speed out of it. Plus, by the end of the day, you're not fatigued by holding a pressure washer with too high of a psi. The purpose of overlapping is to thoroughly rinse the materials so there's no chemical residue left behind. If materials left behind, you'd have to reapply to rinse. As you can see on these passes, he's just removing some of the light mortar smears. Just using water, no bucket and brushing. The first section is starting to dry, giving you get a better look at the end result. Look back on the first section that's beginning to dry. You can notice the aggregate on the face of the split face block has a clean, vibrant appearance.
Application, burnished block in the hallway, mixed. See the shine on the surface there? Putting in the drywall already. It would be nice if this was done before. It'd be nice if this was done before the cleaning had to go on. But their issue, you saw me take some snaps. Saw a snap of the streets. They were using the product 9-to-1. They are not rinsing with the garden hose, and they're getting these uneven surfaces. They switched to 4-to-1, they started to get it even, but they're still getting a white deposit from the lime in the mortar. This is why we talk about rinsing. What I'm going to demonstrate during the course of this video is the different ways of cleaning and the inefficiencies or efficiencies of them, so that you can arrive at an understanding why we recommend doing what we're doing. Now they're trying to dry out this pad behind me in order to pour concrete in here on Monday. Now this is the same shiny stuff you just saw. You can see the mortar and everything on it. We have a glazed and burnished mixed in here. I'm actually going to first do this with just a low pressure spray on application. Compare that versus the X-Jet and the hand pumper and or brushing. I loaded up a small hand pumper here to just give an idea of the kind of application you would get if you were using a big hand pump machine. Contrast that time and efficiency with a powered unit here. I'm still getting water out of the priming pump, so wait a second. There you go. There's really no more stuff going on the surface than we put over there. There is more than you would get with a bucket and a brush. There's no way for the man to keep up the pace all day long of what a machine can generate. This is why we stress using some sort of machine application. I'm sure there's some of you out there that are gasping because I'm going on here dry. The fact of the matter is, if your masonry detergent doesn't damage anything, it doesn't damage anything. Now you'll notice over here is the area that I had done before. What you see with this second application in those vertical joints is there's virtually no foam. NMD80 gives you an exact marker of what's done and what's not. If it doesn't foam, done. You should then just rinse. So I'm going to spray some more just to demonstrate that. You can go along and check any chunks you see anywhere. They come right off. Like that. Keep it off the blades, which is much better to let the chemical take that off. Same thing here. Now, for some reason, and I have theories, but they're only theories at this point in time, these vertical joints seem to have more problems in the wintertime with color mortar and accelerator. I think maybe it has something to do with the fact you've got a stack of wet stuff this high versus a stack of wet stuff this high. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but this is theory. joints, there's virtually no foaming whatsoever in these, for the horizontal joints. The vertical joints, we are getting foam. Here it seems to be dead, but there it's uneven. To fix uneven, all you do is reapply. See, all across here though, it's coming up totally done. This copod over here, get it out. No rinse water comes. I'm actually going to rinse here with the blood pressure system. See right there how that foam went away? On that weight block. Okay. Now, a pressure washer would obviously rinse this much faster. One of the things we're doing here, because we're inside the school, we're trying to dry out there. We're going to use this low volume. At this point, we've used about 2.5 gallons of water, maybe 3. And, you know, the size of the job is maybe 20 by 8, 150 square feet. It's a very efficient system, both chemically and from the water standpoint, the cleanup standpoint. Watch that come off. You can see that white blade come off there. That's the problem when I videotaped earlier showing you areas that had to come clean. One of the benefits of spraying is you really should know, and a pressure washer obviously enhances that. Later on in the demonstration, I'll go through the whole notion of how efficient a pressure washer is versus a garden hose rinse, or in some ways even a disc rinse. Because again, what we're talking about here is labor, time, and effort versus efficiency, production and profit. Low pressure rinsing with this kind of pain, if you have a drum, it would be alright. We don't really worry about our product drying on there. Nothing will happen to it. It basically ends up neutral by the time it comes off the wall. So a pressure washer here would make this so much faster. How quickly this kind of machine can put it on. broadcast this stuff under high pressure, like I did. That just doesn't work. Low pressure, there's no odor, there's no problem. High pressure atomizes it too much. We have to let this sit on the wall. I'm going to do a little scratch test here. Well, actually, it looks like it's probably ready. So I'll fire this back up and rinse it off. I'm sure you can put this on a clock and test it. It's like 2.5 gallons per minute. In other words, that's probably a couple gallons of water there. You can multiply that down the length of the hull. Over here, we had a little bit more, but the hull isn't even all wet to do a section 20 feet long. The amount of water you're putting in there is not critical to the job. Shoot the drywall up there. The whole wall was clean, the drywall wasn't disturbed in any way.
What you see here is the school hallway wall dried after being cleaned with NMD80. Compare this clean wall to the unclean section. You will notice the cleaning effectiveness of NMD80. In this close-up, You can see NMD80 provide an excellent clean with no damage to the mortar joints. Results like these are why NMD80 is the chemical of choice among professional cleaning contractors across North America. Because it's the one and only chemical you will need at your job site, NMD80 is the one-of-a-kind product for you.